Ever catch yourself shutting down a new idea before you've even really thought about it? Like someone suggests a different way to do something, and you instantly think, that won't work, or that's not for me. We all do it sometimes. It's a totally human reaction. But the truth is, closing ourselves off like that can keep us stuck exactly where we are. Today, we're talking about being open-minded, why it matters and how it can seriously level up your life. Because when you're open to new ideas, new perspectives, and even new challenges, you open the door to opportunities you didn't even know were out there. And I'm not just talking about big, life-changing moments. Being open-minded affects your daily life, your relationships, your work, your learning, even your happiness. It's a habit that makes you more flexible, more curious, and honestly, way more interesting to be around. So how do we actually practice open-mindedness in a real, everyday way? Let's break it down. First, start by noticing your instant reactions. You know, those snap judgments we all make. Like when a coworker suggests a new system at work and your first thought is, that's going to be a disaster. Or when a friend recommends a book from a genre you've never liked and you immediately think, I'd hate that. Instead of shutting it down right away, pause, take a breath, and just ask yourself, why do I feel this way? Is it because it's unfamiliar? Because it challenges how you've always done things? That tiny pause gives your brain a chance to shift gears from defensive to curious. I had a friend once who swore he'd never try yoga. He thought it was boring and not a real workout. Then one day, after months of back pain, he gave it a shot. Not only did it help his pain, but now he swears by it. And all it took was being open to trying it once. Next, get curious about other people's perspectives. This is huge. Sometimes we get so stuck in our own way of seeing the world that we forget other people have completely different experiences and beliefs. One of the easiest ways to practice this is in conversations. When someone shares an opinion you don't agree with, instead of debating or dismissing, try saying, "That's interesting. Can you tell me more about why you think that?" You're not agreeing. You're just showing interest. I remember talking to a coworker who had a totally opposite take on remote work than I did. Instead of arguing, I asked him why he felt that way. And honestly, hearing his story changed how I thought about the whole topic. It didn't mean I gave up my opinion, but I gained a new layer of understanding. Curiosity doesn't mean you abandon your beliefs. It means you're willing to listen and learn, and that's powerful. Another way to build open-mindedness is to seek out new experiences on purpose. Don't wait for them to come to you, go after them. Try a new hobby you've never considered. Listen to a podcast from a totally different point of view. Read a book from a genre you normally avoid. Even simple stuff like taking a different route to work or trying a dish you've never eaten before can help your brain get used to stepping outside its usual patterns. It's like building a muscle. The more you practice stretching outside your comfort zone, the easier it gets. And honestly, life feels a lot bigger and more exciting when you're open to the unknown. I'll never forget the time I signed up for a salsa dancing class on a dare. I was completely out of my element. But not only did I have a blast, I met people I never would have crossed paths with otherwise. And I learned that I actually love dancing. Who knew? Another simple but powerful habit is to challenge your own assumptions. We all walk around with mental shortcuts and beliefs we've picked up over time. But some of those might not actually be true, or they might not serve us anymore. Let's say you believe you're just not creative. That might be something you picked up as a kid because you weren't great at drawing. But is it really true? Have you tried creative writing, cooking, designing a garden? Next time you catch yourself thinking, I'm not the type of person who stop and question it. What evidence do you actually have? And is that belief holding you back? I did this with public speaking. I used to tell myself I wasn't a natural speaker. But after challenging that belief and giving it a real shot, I realized I could actually get pretty good at it with practice. That belief had been stopping me from opportunities I didn't even realize I wanted. Here's another game changer. Surround yourself with people who think differently than you. It's comfortable to hang out with people who agree with us all the time. But that comfort zone can also become an echo chamber where nothing ever challenges your thinking. Seek out friends, colleagues, or mentors who have different backgrounds, different careers, even different worldviews. You'll be amazed at how much you learn and how much you grow just by being around people who see things in a way you've never considered. A good friend of mine grew up in a completely different culture than I did. The more we talked, the more I realized how much my own assumptions were shaped by my background. and how much broader the world felt once I saw it through his eyes. Being open-minded doesn't mean agreeing with everything. It means being willing to understand, and that's where real growth happens. One more key habit is to embrace feedback, even when it stings a little. Nobody loves criticism, but sometimes feedback is exactly what we need to break through old patterns and level up. Instead of brushing it off or getting defensive, try asking, "What can I learn from this?" Even if the delivery wasn't perfect, there's often a nugget of truth you can use to improve. I once had a manager tell me my emails came across as too blunt. At first, I wanted to argue, but after sitting with it, I realized I could adjust my tone and actually communicate better. That little bit of openness made a huge difference in my professional relationships. So much of open-mindedness comes down to shifting from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. Instead of thinking, "This is how I am," start thinking, "I wonder what I could learn here." It takes practice, but over time, it rewires the way you approach everything, from challenges to conversations to opportunities. Let me quickly recap the habits we've talked about today. Notice your snap judgments and pause before reacting. Get curious about other people's perspectives and really listen. Seek out new experiences and step outside your comfort zone on purpose. Challenge your own assumptions and question the stories you tell yourself. Surround yourself with people who think differently than you, and embrace feedback as a tool for growth. Open-mindedness isn't about changing who you are. It's about unlocking who you can become. And when you practice these habits, you'll start to see opportunities, relationships, and possibilities open up all around you. So this week, challenge yourself to try one new thing that pushes your mindset a little wider. It could be as simple as reading an article from a source you normally avoid, or as big as saying yes to a new experience. And if you want to keep building habits that help you grow, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss next week's video. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Let's keep leveling up together. See you next time.